She shells seashells by the seashore with her shawlography shawl. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well wherever you are in the world. And oh my goodness, it has been another week. This week has just been so insane. If you are just joining me, by the way, welcome to my little corner of the interwebs. This is a knitting channel, and if knitting is something that you're into and you love hanging out, chatting about it, then I highly encourage you to like and subscribe down below. I put out videos for your viewing pleasure every week. And yeah, but just a little side tangent. Again, if you are just tuning in, my husband and I are in the process of moving house and selling our current place. So this week we've just been tidying up, putting things in boxes, getting this house ready for an open house, which is gonna happen this weekend. And I've just been running around like a chicken with my head cut off. Yeah, you can probably tell that the background is a little threadbare. It's nothing much happening. I did my best to kind of stage it in a way where it looks like this is a knitting channel. We've got my spinning wheel in this corner. We've got some spindles over here. Working with what I've got, doing my best. But anyway, I will talk more about our moving adventure at the end of the episode and other life stuff. But that said, hopefully I have a fun show for you this week. I am going to try and keep it on the short side because I do still have some errands to run, things to do, and try to maintain my sanity. But without further ado, let's talk knitting. I've got some Mkal progress to share with you. If you're not familiar, Stephen West released Clue 1 of his mystery knit along last Friday, and today, at the time that I'm recording this, it is the next Friday, and he has since released Clue number 2. So because it is a mystery knit along, if you are knitting along on this and you don't want to see any spoilers, I'm going to pop a time code at the bottom of the screen to let you know where you can skip ahead, so there will be no spoilers. But I am going to show the progress that I've made so far on it. So again, if you don't want to know what Clue number 1 looks like thus far, skip ahead to this time code right here, and there will be no spoilers thereafter. So anyway, you good? You good? All right. Spoilers are coming. So anyway, here's where we are. This is the Shawlography shawl, a pattern by Stephen West. It's part of his 2021 mystery knit along. And as you can see, if you are knitting along with this, I am still making my way through Clue number 1. Again, this week has just been insane, and I've just been plugging away on this as I can. I just realized my microphone was way over there and not in front of my mouth where it should be. So anyway, I am going to hold this up to the camera so you can get a better idea of what it looks like. It's just so interesting, and like the pattern suggests, all the colors. There are 5 different colorways in here that I'm using, and they're all, as the pattern says, playing with each other. They're all choreographed, doing their part, and yeah, it's just brilliant. Every stitch, I'm just like, every instruction, I'm just like, this is amazing. That's what I love about a lot of Stephen West patterns. Most of them, for the most part, there's never a dull moment. They always hold your attention. But yes, I'm making my way through, I believe it's the 3rd part of Clue 1. So there's this really interesting zigzag stitch, which dare I say is very gratifying to execute. It's just such an interesting stitch, and I love the effect. It's just, I don't know, it's creating these little slip stitch triangles and eyelets, and yeah, it's just, I am a huge fan, guys. Huge fan. So that's not to say, if you look really close, you can see that there are a couple of mistakes in here, and that's because, yeah, this has become my new open house project, so to speak. While I was working on the bubble cardigan, that was my open house cardie. I was just taking it with me along for car rides, driving to different open houses. And in hindsight, I'm thinking that this may not have been the wisest project to cast on during this chapter in my life where we have a lot going on, and yeah, I just can't, my brain is focused on other things. Case in point, I did cast on last Friday in the car. That was probably not wise because I think I tried casting this pattern on about 4 or 5 times. This little piece right here, I don't know why, but I was not having it. I just couldn't cast on properly. Either I couldn't count, or I have no idea, guys. But anyway, long story short, I cut my losses and just decided to say, you know what, I'm gonna wait until I get home when I have some quiet downtime and cast on with my full attention. So I waited until Sunday and cast on, and here we are. So, but yeah, again, this looks super complicated, but once you're done with one wedge, it's very intuitive. He even has you put a little stitch marker in to keep track of short row shaping. It was convenient to have a stitch marker, but after a couple of rows, I got the gist of it, and I was like, you know what? The stitch marker is slowing me down. I'm going to take off the stitch marker and just roll with it. So anyway, if you are not knitting along with this pattern, you have no clue what I'm talking about, I apologize. But just know that this pattern is incredibly intuitive and fun to knit so far. But yeah, there are a couple of mistakes in there. I think in the car, I kind of botched up one of my short row shaping right here in this little stripe. It's a little wonky, but I don't care. Just fond memories of house hunting in this shawl, I think. Honestly, I really can't see it now, but I was really struggling to pick up the I-cord binding. Anyway, little mistakes that no one can really see. I can't even see them at this point. So anyway, I'm trying to think what else I want to say. I believe I have 2 or 3 more sections of these little triangle slip stitches to do. I'm not going to hold myself to finishing clue 1 today, just because I know I have a lot going on, as I said, but we are going to do a home inspection tomorrow morning, bright and early, so this will definitely keep me company, and I have a good feeling that I will finish clue 1 in the car. I know what I'm doing now, and it will be great. Anyway, clue 1, here's where we are, and again, thoroughly enjoying every stitch. All right, if you do not want any spoilers, you can look up now, because I'm just going to talk about the yarn that I'm using. This project is actually living in this project bag, which is a beautiful, ginormous project bag by Tanneicasey, and I will link to her Etsy shop down below. She creates beautiful, very sturdy project bags. I need to get myself another one because I absolutely love them. They're just so well made, and yeah, I love the bottoms of these. They're just, yeah. Anyway, cannot wax poetic enough about them. But yes, she is housing my Shawlography shawl, and I'm using 5 different colorways. So for color A, I'm using the Skein Queen, and I was going to, initially when I cast on, I was going to hold it together with another skein of Skein Queen in her, oh gosh, I don't know what the base is called, but it is Surrey Alpaca. But it was a little too floofy for my liking. So I decided not to hold it together, so we're just going with this. I mean, this in itself has a lot of floof because it has alpaca and silk content in it. So the floof factor, we're good. We don't need extra floof. Color B, I am using hedgehog fibers in the Urchin colorway. And you're probably wondering, Kristen, why are these balled up? Why aren't they caked up? Well, let me explain. Because when I wound these up, there happened to be a tangle in the hedgehog fiber skein. I don't know. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the hedgehog fiber skein. It's been sitting in my stash for quite some time. It might have been the way that I draped it over my Swift or cut the ties. Anything could have happened. Anyway, there was a snafu, there was a tangle, a snag or something, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna hand wind it. So I sat myself down on the floor and just did a little meditative ball winding. That's what I did. That's why these are in balls. So that is color B, and that is currently the main color that you see throughout throughout clue 1 in the shawl currently. I love the subtle speckles happening. It's just so beautiful. Anyway, color B, I'm using my hand-dyed yarns, Voolenvine yarns in the Rochester colorway. It is this really beautiful chocolatey brown, chocolate milk brown, I want to say, colorway. And then there's also Voolenvine yarns, my hand-dyed yarns, again in the Whisper shade. And as I was knitting it up, I was contemplating swapping this out for something with a little more contrast, because when it's knit together with the hedgehog fibers, it looks like there's enough contrast here, but when it's knit up together, it gets a little muddy. There's not very much contrast when you knit these side by side, but there's just enough, which is why I decided not to swap it out. So anyway, own personal brand of crazy. I love the way it's knitting up. And I forgot to mention color C. I think it's color C, but anyway, this is the La Bien Aimée skein that I'm using in her Drago colorway. Basically, this is the skein that I built the entire palette around because it's just so pretty and dark and goth, and I absolutely freaking love it. That is the yarn that I'm using, and yeah, again, having a lot of fun with it, thoroughly enjoying it, and cannot wait to get to clue number 2. Yeah, and again, I'm just, maybe timing-wise, this was not the best project for what's happening in my life right now. It just feels like there's so much chaos happening right now. It's crazy. But yeah, I'm hanging in there. It's enjoyable. I'm finding little pockets of downtime to just chill and knit on my on the Shawlography shawl. That sounds so funny to say together. Shawlography shawl. It's like a tongue twister. She shells seashells by the seashore with her Shawlography shawl. Goodness, I'm here all day, guys. Anyway, yes, really embracing any downtime I can find right now. And, you know, but I'm here chatting with you, which is, I have just been so looking forward to sitting down and talking about knitting all week long, because it's just been house stuff. So I am very, very thrilled and excited and happy to be sitting down, finally sitting, chatting with you guys. So do not get me wrong. So that is the Shawlography shawl. And that is all I have been knitting on. Yeah, I probably should, you know, for sanity's sake, be working on my Koru pullover. That has gotten no love from me all week, and I want to knit on it. I really do. See, the pandemic has turned me into a monogamous knitter. I like the pace of it. I like being able to just focus on one thing, getting it off the needles, and then going directly onto the new and shiny. Because yes, I do realize when I have too many projects on the go, the overwhelm can be real. Maybe I have become a monogamous knitter. The horror. But anyway, I'm sure there will be a time when I reach for my Koru pullover instead of the Shawlography shawl. There might be a little break here and there. So anyway, thinking out loud as I do. So yes, that is all the creative content that I have to share with you this week. I know. Short episode. What else do I have to talk about? Yeah, moving, life stuff. Again, I'm gonna keep this very minimal because there's still so much happening. We don't know where we're moving yet, but we did have an offer accepted on a home, and we're driving out to do the inspection tomorrow. And it's really, really exciting, guys. I am crossing my fingers that it all works out, because this essentially is my dream home, and I really do want to share it with you guys, like photos and everything. Anyway, I'm not going to talk it up because I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to. I'm very, very nervous and excited at the same time. But you know, yeah. Everything is still very much up in the air. But that is happening tomorrow. And then Sunday, we are having the open house. Just got to get through this weekend. And I realized Rhinebeck is this weekend. Yeah, guys, it's not happening for me this year. It's killing me. I really did want to go. This is the first year that they're having it since the pandemic. And this will also be the third year that I've skipped Rhinebeck. I've been going for years, since I met Dennis. He broke my Rhinebeck cherry. I was like, what is this magical place where all the sheep and all the yarn? What? And then I just have not been able to stay away. But anyway, yeah, life happens. And, you know, if not this year, there's always next year. Hopefully by the next year, we'll be back in full swing with things, you know, post-pandemic. Fingers crossed. I will end things there. Thank you so much, as always, for hanging out with me. And if you're new here, as I mentioned at the top of the episode, I hope that you like and subscribe, because I put out videos for your viewing pleasure every week. And until the next video, have an amazing weekend. Happy Rhinebeck to everyone who is going. I am so looking forward to seeing your Rhinebeck sweaters and living vicariously through all of your photos on my Instagram feed. Have an amazing time, guys. Seriously, I'm so jelly. Very, very jelly. But yes, we can't win them all. So anyway, have an amazing weekend, and I'll see you next time. Bye.